Okay, so this is, does everyone see this? Everyone got, Twitch open. See my screen now? Okay, cool. So this isn't the one I just opened. This is it. Okay, so with this one, I think the thing that was tricky, is like, where do these, where do these loops originate and what's going on there? Um, I'll actually just show you guys real quick. Uh, Oops. I updated my SolidWorks to the 2020 version, so now I can. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that works. There's, where did I save this one? Here it is. So I'll show you mine real quick. So what I did was, I put the sketch right on this face of the pyramid. Um, it's kind of hard to see now that it's brass, but I just put the sketch right on this face and then dimensioned it. It's 25 millimeters from the tip of the pyramid, which if you look at the drawing, it's kind of hard to tell what they're talking about here. But the center of your circle is going to be 25 millimeters from the point of the pyramid. That's what that dimension means. At least that's how it was interpreted. Um, that's how I interpreted it. That's how it is for the purpose of the midterm. So I know that might be a little unclear. That might have been a little unclear to a few people. What's that? Yeah, I mean there shouldn't be. And this is, I mean, there's no other way you could really interpret this dimension, I don't think. It's, you know, but it definitely, if you're not sure what you're looking at, it's a little confusing. So I agree with you there. Um, but yeah, that's what that means. And then this 70 here, this is referring to, you extruded your original square that you started with to 70 millimeters. So that's what that's talking about. It's kind of silly. Like, this is not the best drawing. So, um, I mean, I'll be straight with you on that. This is definitely not the best drawing, but that's what's going on there. So if that helps anyone at all, hopefully it does. And then this 10 millimeters. This is the diameter of uh these loops, or the I guess the diameter of the circle that is a cross section of those loops. Um, so again, I can't really see any other way to interpret that, but and then it says revolve centered. I don't know what that means. Revolve centered. Um, oh, I guess you want to revolve it around the vertex of the pyramid. The word centered in there doesn't make sense, but you're gonna revolve. Hmm. Yeah, I did that as well. I don't think it lets you revolve around a point. I think you need a center line. Um, so yeah, to go back to this, you can see I have a center line right here, and my dimension here is off that point, but obviously that point is coincident with the center line. The other thing I did too was I added a vertical center line here, in order to fully define this circle. I made the center of that circle coincident with this center line. I couldn't. I tried to make it vertical. Oops. I tried to make it vertical in relation to the top point here, and it wouldn't let me do that. So, I mean, I guess, use center lines as much as you need to. They don't hurt anything. Um, they can clutter up your drawings, but if it makes it work, then it makes it work, and you don't have to worry about dimensioning center lines really. They can be any length, so. Sorry. Um, excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, interesting. So I'll show you how I did that. So let's see. So you're gonna start with the center line. Excuse me, I still have a little bit of a cough here. Um, yeah, yeah. I actually, I think I mentioned last week I got tested for COVID, and of course it wasn't. I'm fine, but it's definitely annoying. Yeah, that's why I got tested. I was like, I don't want to give it to anybody. So, and at my other job, I'm around people a lot more than I am here. So, um, all right. So the way that I did those, I did this. Yeah, a lot of the time it's easier to do it that way. Yeah, I mean you can do it your way too. I'll do this real quick. I'll just do another one over here. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Kind of messed up my top line there. Let's delete that. So the way you can fix that, I think, there we go. The way you can fix that is if you add a relation, and I think what you were having trouble with was these three lines. If you select all three and you make them collinear, um, so it just overdefined it on me, but yeah. So, mhm. Yeah, no worries. I mean, and uh, as long as it's close, you'll get most of the points. So, it's yeah, it's really a matter of just getting the math right for this. For this test, like 99% of your grade is did you get the math properties right? If you did, chances are extremely high that you did the drawing correctly, or at least really close to correctly. So, mhm. Yeah, fair enough. Um, yeah, I mean, it's yeah, again, as long as it's really close, like you're not gonna fail or anything like that. So, um, it's yeah, it's definitely like a process of like what's the easiest way to do it. And the more you do this stuff again, the easier it gets. You start to look at something and be like, "Oh, I see the easiest way to do this." Like you have to think about it less and less as time goes on. So, um yeah, it's really just practice. But um let me see who's here real quick. I think I think I got everybody who's here. So, all right. Um So today we're going to talk about assemblies. Um, so I opened an assembly. So the way you just go file, oops, you go file, new, and then click assembly. I'm not going to open another one because I've already got it open. But um, and we're going to do the exercise that starts on page 12. 1012. It's the chain links assembly. And was it who was it that said they did it before? Mike? Cool. All right. So you're ahead of us, but just so everybody's on the same page with how to build an assembly, since we haven't really covered it yet, and this week's homework is going to be building an assembly. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to create all the parts that are going to go into your assembly. So I have all of mine um, saved on my desktop. So alignment pin, chain link, pinhead, and single link. So there's 4 parts for this. And we did the first one in class a while ago. So you should have that one saved. I think I have it open over here. No, I don't. I closed it. Never mind. Um, I'm opening it. It's just taking its time. Okay. So this is the part that we made in class. If you all have that, that's where we're gonna start. And then real quick, I'm just gonna go through I guess 10 chapter 10 it starts on page 10-12. So it's a little bit into the chapter. Let's see. I'm gonna go back and I'll walk you through really quick how to do the other parts of this assembly. So let's go back to page 4-10 real quick. So chapter 4, page 10. Oh geez, I keep getting this error message ever since they updated my software. Alright. So you're going to do the alignment pin on page 410. You're going to start with the right plane. So you can go here. I guess it doesn't want to let me go there. So you just turn it a little bit. Click your right plane. And we'll go ahead and sketch that thing really quick. Want to center line at the bottom here. So we have a center line because we're going to revolve it around that. And then, are we in inches for this one? I can't remember. Okay, shoot. So I gotta change that. Alright. Oops. Okay. So, go ahead and start. Yeah? Oh, really? Okay, does everyone have that? Does anyone... not have that? Because we can just skip ahead to doing the assembly in that case. Okay, cool. All right, I don't think I have that, so I don't think I downloaded everything. I just built all the parts, but if everybody has them, then we'll just skip ahead. Just let me know if you don't. Apparently there was a download for the all the parts in the book. Do you guys have that? I'm not really sure what you're referring to. Okay, yeah. For like the student version that you downloaded. Okay, cool. I didn't get that because I mean, I have the software installed on my computer. I don't have the student version, so um, mhm. Okay. All right, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I already built all of these, so I don't need it. But if anybody else is missing that stuff, then I don't want them to get lost. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay. All right. This will take like 10 minutes, guys, so I'm just going to go through really quick. And if you're able to follow along and just sketch this stuff, um they're all super simple. So, um if you already have them, if you don't feel like following along for this part, then do whatever you want, I guess. But I'm just going to go through it really quick for the people that don't have it, okay? All right, cool. Just make sure you don't forget to come back. Because when we get to the, make sure you don't forget to come back. Because when we get to the assembly part, I want everyone here. So, all right. So let's just finish this up really quick. So we're just gonna dimension everything um, like it is in the book. All right. That messed some things up on me, but that's okay. There we go. Oops. What's up? Yeah. All right. Is everyone still with me? Got this thing fully defined. All right. So we're gonna do a revolved uh, revolved boss base here. We're gonna revolve it around that center line you made, and it's gonna be 360 degrees blind. And click OK. And then we're just gonna do a couple of chamfers. So you want this back edge here, and for distance you're going to do 0.032, and for angle you're going to do 45 degrees, which it already has there. So it should look like this. And then you're going to do the same thing here on this inside edge, and I believe that's going to be the same. Yeah, it's going to be the same. So you can do them both at once too. You don't have to do them one at a time like I did. And that's what your final pin should look like. That's the alignment pin. And then save it. Give it the name alignment pin, like it says in the book. It's important that we have these all saved, because when you go to build your assembly, you have to have those part files to add into the assembly. So I already built this and saved it, so I'm not going to bother. But we're going to do another new part. Is everyone done with that piece? Cool. Alright, so we're going to do one more new part. And that's going to be the pin head. That one's going to start, let's see, on the front plane. So we'll just do this sketch really quick. Oh shoot, I keep forgetting my units. I always forget to do that at the beginning, and I have to change it. Alright. Okay, and then we're going to do another, again, we're going to revolve this one around a center line. So we're going to do a center line through the origin along the bottom of that sketch there again. And then we'll go ahead and do our dimensions. Alright, so that should be fully defined. You just need those 4 dimensions, and we're going to go ahead and go to features. Revolved, again, it's going to be around that center line, blind 360 degrees, and click OK. And you'll have this pin that looks like this. And then we're going to do the same thing where we chamfer 2 edges. It's going to be the same 0.032 inches for distance and 45 degrees. And we're just going to click that edge and that edge. So, oh, I don't want that face. I just want the top edge. Let's see if I can actually just click that top edge. There we go. So, and then click OK. And you should have this pin like this. Everyone with me there? Cool. Alright. Anyone having trouble? Anyone stuck? No? Alright. So one more. This is the last one. And this is the single link. starting on 4-14. We're going to do a new sketch. We're going to start in the front plane. And we're going to do a slot. So we're going to go here, straight slot. And it's going to start at the origin. We're going to go off to the right. Make sure it's horizontal. You can add a relation for that later if it's not. And then just drag it outward like that. So, once you have those, we're going to dimension it real quick. Let me just make sure that center line is horizontal. I don't want all this stuff. Oops. Dang it, I clicked them all again. Make that horizontal. Alright. So, 2 dimensions. The center line, so from the 2 centers of those radiuses, it's going to be, again, we need inches. If someone could like magically fix my inability to remember what units I'm using at the beginning, that'd be really nice. Alright. So we're going to dimension this. It's going to be 1.25. And we only need 2 dimensions for a slot. We need the radius and we need the distance between those 2 center points. And the radius is going to be 1. Actually, the diameter is 1. So the radius is going to be 0.5, sorry. So, and the way that the book shows it, they're dimensioning the diameter, not the radius. So, it doesn't matter either way as long as you have the right dimension in the end. So, then you're going to extrude this. You're going to do mid-plane on this one. So from the sketch plane, direction is going to be mid-plane, which means that your sketch plane is at the center and it extrudes in both directions. You're going to extrude it to a depth of 0.75 inches. And click OK. Alright. And then you're going to do a new sketch on the front face of this part. So you're going to click sketch, you're going to select that face for where you're sketching. And then you're going to do 2 circles. And they're going to be the same radius. Actually, they're going to be slightly bigger than your slot here. So the way to find that center of that circle, I think we've done this before, but you have to hover over the outside edge of an existing radius, and then the center point will show up. It's hard to see, but it's that little black dot in the middle there. And so you click that to make your circle on the center of that radius. And then we'll click OK. We're going to give them an equal relation so that we only have to dimension 1. Okay. And then we're going to dimension it to 1.02. So again, just slightly bigger than the radius of the slot. And 1.02 is the diameter, to be clear. So that should be fully defined now. And we're going to go ahead and do an extruded cut on those. and that's going to be blind. The depth is going to be 0.235 inches. And so when you turn it sideways, you should see them going into your slot here. It'll look like that. And click OK. And then you'll have those two cutouts there. So then we're going to mirror that to the other side. So we're going to click mirror over here. And let's see. So mirror face / plane is going to be front plane. So you can go into your tree over here and you can click front plane. So you're mirroring, basically you're mirroring these cuts around the front plane. See how it's in the middle? And so they're mirrored on this side to this side of that plane. Features to mirror is cut extrude 1. And you're going to click OK. And then you'll have it on the other side, the same as it is on the front. Is everyone still with me on that? Alright, cool. So then we're going to put a couple of holes in this. The sketch face is going to be this face that you just cut away here. So we're going to do a new sketch on that face. And we're going to go circle. I'm going to put it on that. Let's actually do this so we can see what we're doing. So we're going to do a circle. We're going to put it on the center of this circle that we have here. And then we're going to do one on the other side. So again, hover over the edge and you should see the center point show up. And then click on that to start your circle. We're going to give them an equal relation. Okay. And then we're going to do a dimension. The diameter is going to be 0.325. And then go ahead and do an extruded cut on those. Click OK. Oh, I didn't do that right. So go in and edit feature. And it's actually going to be through all. And then click OK. There we go. Is everyone still with me? Okay, cool. Is anyone not done at this point? I don't want to be wasting time if everybody's ahead of me. Just doing this for the sake of anyone that wants to follow along, but okay. Alright, yeah, basically the only thing left at this point is you're just gonna do fillets on those edges, so everything is rounded. But if nobody needs further explanation on this, I'll just close it and we'll go straight to the assembly. Is that cool? Alright. Let's go straight to the assembly. So we're going to go back to page 10-14. Open a new assembly document. I'm going to close these. So we've got our assembly document here. So on page 1014, if everyone's there, we'll go ahead and start our assembly. So we're going to go insert components right here. Then we're going to go open documents. We're going to go browse, and you're going to go to where you saved all of those parts you just made, or wherever they're all saved. And the first one we're going to select is the double link. And I don't think I have it saved as double link. I think I have it saved as chain link. Yeah. So I'm going to just open that one. And we're going to place it on the assembly. Let's see. Where do they want us to put it? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So let's X out of here. So you go up here in the assembly tab in the upper left corner, you're going to click insert components. And then you'll have this menu over here on the left. And it gives you there's a little window, there might be parts showing up in there, but we're going to browse and we're going to go to the first part we want to open, which should be, it's just going to open this folder up and you're going to be able to find whatever file you want on your computer. So I'm going to open that first chain link file, that we made in our first, not our first, but one of our previous labs, or lectures. So let's see, it's saying hover the cursor over the assembly origin, the double arrow symbol appears. So I think we want to hover here. And then you'll see this little double arrow symbol right next to your cursor. That's telling you that the origin of this part will be placed on the origin of the assembly. So you'll see like there's an origin for the whole assembly here in the middle, just like there would be when you're sketching a part. And then the part that you're going to insert in your assembly also has its original origin that you used when you drew it. You want those to be coincident. So you have to hover your cursor over the assembly origin, and that part will snap to its origin being on top of the assembly origin. When you have that, go ahead and click, and it'll place it. And it's going to say fully defined down here, meaning that where you placed your part is fully defined. It's not movable because you have that relation between your origins here. And the first component you put in your assembly is always going to be fixed in space. So once you place it, it's fixed. You can't move it around. You can't drag it. It's got this F over here that means that it's fixed. So you're going to see all your parts as you add them in. They're all going to show up in this menu on the left. And if it has an F next to it, that means that it's fixed in the space where your assembly exists. It's going to be fixed in there. If it doesn't have that F, it means it's not. It's like as if it were underdefined, kind of. It can be moved around. And you have a couple of ways you can add additional components. You can drag and drop them from an opened window. You can use Windows Explorer to drag the component into the assembly, or you can use the insert component command, which is what we just used. So say I open up my folder here, and I want to put in the pin head, or let's see what's next actually. They want us to add 5 more instances of that original link. I'm not going to do that quite yet. Actually, I guess we can just do that. So I'll take that link and I can just drag it in here and drop it. I'm gonna put it over here, I guess. I'm gonna zoom out and I'm gonna actually move it up here. So this one is not fixed. You can see it has this little minus or this little dash, which is the same as like if something isn't fully defined. If a drawing isn't fully defined in an assembly, that means that its placement in the assembly isn't defined. And the lights just turned out on me. I'm gonna go turn them back on really quick. Sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry, that's yeah. Okay, you're not so um it should be hmm. Are you not seeing the origin or is it just not clicking into place for you? Mhm. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, if your origin is hidden, that could be the problem. The other thing is if you just drop to the part in there, um, first without making sure it was on the origin, that could have been the problem as well. So, um, let's see. So when you go insert component, um, and you get your chain link, and you click open, you're gonna have it here. Uh, if you click, it's gonna drop it wherever you click. So, um, don't click your mouse until you have it on the origin. And then you click the mouse. But like if I just click over here, it's gonna be there, and it's gonna look like I can drag it around. This one isn't fixed in space. Um, I'm gonna be able to drag it around with my mouse because it's not linked to the origin or any other part yet. So, yeah. So the other thing you can do is you're in your front plane here is click that and do the normal to, and then it should snap to where your origin is right in the middle of your screen here. So like if you like are if you're zoomed out and then like you're over here somewhere, you can go back and it'll bring you back to where your origin is in the middle. So if you're not able to find it, that might also solve the problem. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so one thing that might be going on too is if you have see this little eye here on my screen, I've got my mouse on it, but if that's crossed out, I guess, yeah, if it's crossed out, it means your origin is not hidden. If it's like this, it means your origin is hidden, and you want to click that little eye, and it'll show up again. So, does that make sense to everyone? Hmm. Okay. Yeah. All right. If you're if you've got it figured out, we'll keep going. Did you get your part to um be coincident with the origin yet, or are you still? Okay. All right. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Hmm. Okay. That's probably just because your origin is hidden. So the only way, I mean, the easiest way to test it is just click with your left mouse button and try to drag it. It shouldn't move. If you try and click with your left mouse button and drag these new ones, they'll move around. So if that one is attached to the origin, it won't move when you try to drag it. It'll stay in place. All right, cool. So, so it wants us to have ultimately 6 of this part. Another thing you can do, you can go, I think you can copy it. I haven't done this in a while, so. Um, there's going to be 6 total. Um, so let's just do this. I'm just going to open my folder up again, and I'm just going to drag 3 more of them in. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, so just click your mouse, hit control, or hit control and click your mouse and drag it. Now I gotta delete a couple, but. Alright. So, and this is my origin one, that's the first one. Maybe put all the other ones to the left so you know which one is your fixed one there. Um, Alright. You can also, um, you can also change the color of your fixed one so you can distinguish it. I guess the book is saying if you want to change the color, however you want to do it, whatever is easiest. Um, so we're gonna put in the single link next. So I'm just gonna drag it over from my folder. Um, and then we want, how many of those do we want? I guess we're just gonna do one for starters, and then we're gonna mate it to the let's see, I think we're mating it to the fixed part. So this one here. Um, so we're gonna click mate up here in the upper left on your toolbar there. It's the third one to the from the left. And then in order to mate two objects, you have to select the part of the object that you want mated. So in this case, we want these holes to be concentric, basically. It's kind of like adding relations, which we've done a bunch of. So if that kind of helps you, understand how it works, we're gonna select the 2 faces of the insides of those holes. And my single link lost one of its uh, chamfers here. I'm gonna fix that really quick. Oh, it's not missing it. That's weird. It's just not showing up. So, anyway, we're gonna select those faces. So face 1 and I think we want the inside face of this part. There's like multiple levels, obviously, so we want the smaller circle. There we go. And they're going to be concentric. So you're going to click concentric over here. And you're going to click OK. So now these two are kind of on top of each other. You can still drag this one. Huh. It looks like the concentric didn't work. Because, oh, you know why? It's just coming forward. So obviously they can move in 3 dimensions. So it's still concentric. You can see it won't move side to side, but it'll rotate around that hole there, and it'll also move front to back. So we're going to add another mate to fix that. So that's the, I believe that's the next one, the width mate. So you're going to click the 2 outer faces. So that's going to be this outer side here and this face here, I think is what they're telling us to do. Oh, not that one. That's why it won't let me select the other one. So you want this side and this side. Still not letting me select 2. Oh, I see. I see why it's not letting us do it. Alright. So it's going to be under Advanced Mates. You're going to click Width. Where did it go? Sorry, I'm struggling with this for some reason. Here it is. So you're going to click Width, and the constraint is going to be centered. And then, I think now you can select those 2 faces. And then you're going to select the 2 inner faces on this part, and it's going to put those faces in between these ones. So then you'll have this right here. So again, you can still rotate this one, but it won't move outside of that other link. It's like they're locked in place now. So it kind of moves like a chain. You can still turn it all the way around though, which is not realistic. And there's another thing you can do to prevent that. That's adding constraints to the movement. But I guess it's not having us do that quite yet. So we're going to copy that single link a couple times now. So you want 4 instances total. I'm not really sure what you're asking. Yeah. Mhm. You could do it that way. I'm just yeah, I'm just following the exercise in the book. So you can do it that way too. That would probably be more efficient. I think it's going to let's see, how does it have us do this? Because if it has us just mate every single one like I just did, that's really tedious. But Okay. So, uh, yeah, if you're having the same issue I was having, it's because you have to click this advanced mates here. So it's got that down arrow. And then once you do that, you're gonna click width here. So you're gonna do a width mate, which is a specific kind where um you're constraining the part within it's like between two other faces. So it gives you the option to select both. So you're gonna click that width, um, and then you'll be able to select both faces after you do that. Does that help? Yeah. All right. So let's just keep going with this and see where it takes us. Um, so let's see. So we copied that inside single link. Um, so you're gonna expand your mate group, which is down here. So click that down arrow at the bottom. I think that's what it's asking us to do. I'm a little not sure. It's like they just skipped ahead here. So, alright, so on page 1021, they're saying, uh, alright, weird. So I guess it just wants us to mate all of them, which is kind of ridiculous. So let's just go ahead and, yeah, I'm not sure. It's like my book is missing pages or something. It's not, but they tell you make all these instances, and then on the next page they're just all linked together. Um, so let's do this. Let's see. So this one is fixed. I think there's a way to just copy um, maybe not. All right. Yeah, the easiest way to do this would be to just copy this with the mates and then attach them one after the other. Uh, oops. So let's do this. I'm just deleting all my extras here that we made. Uh, hmm. Alright, so now we should just have these two. Select those two. And paste. So I just copied and pasted those two. And now if I uh, so now we can just basically cut our work in half here. We're just gonna mate these the same way we did with the last ones. We're gonna make these concentric. Click OK, and then we're gonna do that advanced mate. We're gonna do width, and we'll select both sides of. Oops. Jeez. We'll select both sides of this piece. So we got that side and that side. And then we're going to do these two. Ah, my lights are turning off. Alright, 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. I also just started coughing again. Okay. Is everyone still with me? Anyone? Any questions? Anything? Sorry, I'm like dying here again. Alright, cool. Okay, so we've got 4 of them, and you could copy this and do another 4 and just mate those really quick. Once you have, obviously once you copy it, each time you copy it, it's going to double. So that's the easiest way to make your chain really long pretty quick. Excuse me. All right, I'm fine. I'm not gonna die. Not today. So let's exit out of there, and we'll go ahead and add in the pins. Jeez. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is the pin head, I guess. Oh no, they want to do alignment pin first. So that's going to be over here. And let's see, where do they want us to put that? Oh, I guess they want us to put in the pin head as well at the same time. So I'm just going to drag and drop that one. Okay. And this one needs to rotate because it's facing the wrong way. And of course they had us draw it that way so they could show us how to rotate it. So we're going to do rotate component. Let's see. Where is that? No, I can't remember where that is. Oh, probably here. There we go. So I guess we just grab it and rotate it. This is annoying. Alright. And then we're going to make a couple more copies of each. We're not going to do 5 because we're not really following the book at this point, but we'll do 3 of each. Oops. Okay. So is everyone still with me on this? Alright, we're going to go mate. And we're going to select the body of the alignment pin. Not two alignment pins. Alright. Oh geez, we didn't want to mate those. Okay. So that's going to be face 1. And then we're going to select the hole in the double link over here. Not that, the double link. So, let's see. That's going to be in here. We're going to go concentric, click OK. And now your pin should be inside that double link there. And you can still drag it out, but it should be concentric, so it shouldn't move side to side. Now you're going to select, let's see, the planar faces of the bore and the head of the pin, and make them coincident so that you can't drag the pin out anymore. So we're going to go this face, and then we're going to select this face in here, and that's going to put it right in that spot there where it goes. Click OK. And then the pin head goes around that pin on the other side. So we're going to do a concentric mate between the pin head and the other pin. So we're going to go, we'll go ahead and click that pin face there. That sounds like an insult. Pin face. Anyway, so that should go over there. Yeah, it looks like it's where it belongs. So if we click OK, you'll see that pin is right there. And again, that one can still move in and out. So we want to also mate the face again with the face of the double link. So let's go ahead and do those. And make those coincident. Click OK. Alright, so now you should have both your pins there. They should be stuck inside that link. They still spin. You can see the little origin spinning there if I drag it in circles. But also, let's X out of here. If you go to that first, let's see, can we zoom to it? I guess it's not letting us. Let's just go to the front plane. There we go. Okay. I was just left clicking instead of right clicking. So you could see all those origins in that first spot are going to be lined up, and you can spin them all around because we didn't constrain how far they can turn. We just constrained where they are on 2 axes, but obviously this third axis is still loose. So is everyone with me on that? Do you all have your chains properly chained there? Alright, you can do the same thing with the next couple of pins, but I'm just going to skip ahead. So they're talking about align and anti-align options on page 1027. So the alignment options will flip the mating component 180 degrees. So the last 2 pins, I guess, or whatever, we'll just do it with another 2 pins. We'll use those to demonstrate align and anti-align. So basically it flips the part backwards. So we're going to mate these using the concentric option. Oh boy. Alright. And let's see. So let's go ahead and just do this. We'll click this face. We'll click this inside face here. We made them concentric. Let's see. And if we want to switch that pin, it's going to be concentric and it's just going to flip to the other side. So see how it spun around there? I don't know if you could all see that, but it's over here. So you can use this mate alignment if you have something and you want to flip it backwards. You can use that. So let's click OK. It's on the wrong side now. Because we want to mate this one with it. So we're going to make this concentric here. And see how it's on the same side? We want to flip it around. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip it here. And we're going to drag it over here. And now they're lined up where they're supposed to be, but they're opposite the other ones. Does that make sense to everyone? I feel like the book kind of gave us a complicated explanation for something really similar. That's just flip it backwards. Not that hard. Alright, so now we have this. These ones aren't totally constrained here, but that's okay. So another thing you can do is you can constrain the movement of your parts. So you can make it so that they won't cross over each other when you spin them, because obviously this would never happen in real life. This wouldn't go over here. And that's in a different part of the book. Well, actually, let's just go over that next week. Since, I don't know, we have time and I don't want to throw too much at you. So, but that'll be the next thing, is keeping things moving in a realistic manner so they're not, on top of each other or whatever. It also, will prevent stuff so if you want to make these pins so that they can move out here, but you want to be able to drag it in without it crossing through. You want it to move, but like in real life. You can make it so that this pin isn't going to go past the wall of this hole here. So that's going to be kind of a cool thing. And then you can start building things that, you can model something and say, would this work in real life? Let's constrain everything and see if it still moves. Because when you 3D print it and put it together, you might say, oh shoot, this isn't going to work because this thing gets in the way of that thing. But you wouldn't be able to tell if, you have this and you're dragging it around. It doesn't matter if something gets in the way, it's still going to go there. So I don't know if that really makes sense to everyone, but we'll get to that. Does anyone have any questions? Is everyone still alive out there?
I'm breathing.
Cool. All right. Okay. So I think we'll call it there for today. And if you all if you want to practice assemblies and stuff, they're fun. A few of you have already been doing assemblies. Some of you have jumped ahead, which is awesome. So I'll go over the assignment real quick here. Let's see. What are we on? 7? Those are attendance. 5. Okay. All right. So this assignment is just going to be create your own assembly, come up with something. It can be modeled off of something. It can just be from your imagination. Um, but create an assembly that consists of 4 parts. You can use one part that you've already designed, but everything else has to be new. And uh, obviously, again, your parts shouldn't just be like 4 boxes sitting on top of each other. Like, give it a little bit of detail. I'm not gonna put requirements in here, but like if your part is a couple of cubes, I'm gonna ask you what the heck you're doing. um, so yeah, basically that's it. Just create an assembly, 4 parts. 3 of them have to be new, and make sure when you submit them, you submit all of your part files, all 4 of them, as well as your assembly file, because otherwise I won't be able to see the assembly. Um, if you're missing parts to an assembly that somebody else sent you, you won't be able to see them in the assembly when you open it. Um, so so yeah, go ahead and submit all of your part files and your assembly file, and go ahead and do a JPEG of the assembly as well. Just do a screenshot and turn that in. And I'm gonna go ahead and publish this. I'm gonna give you a deadline. Let's see. All right, so it's due next Monday, per usual. And if let's see, if anyone's having trouble with the midterm tonight, message me. I'll be around. You do need to have it turned in by midnight. I don't know if that was clear. So if you're really struggling, just shoot me a message. We'll talk about it. But it does need to be turned in by midnight tonight, or it'll be late. Um, and yeah, that should be everything. Any questions? All right, no problem. Anyone else? No? All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Everyone have a good night.